Okay. Welcome back to Harem and the Labyrinth of Another World Anime Review episode number 12. Yeah, this. I looked it up and see if in fact they were going to have another episode next week. Nope, this is going to be the last one for this season. I did look it up. This episode does cover pretty much the rest of chapter 2 and covers the first portion of chapter 3 and highlights of other books. I have no idea exactly why in the world it is for, but they did. Simply put, basically, this is just after they got Sherry, where they go to the Veil Labyrinth. Despite factor in quarter, and they go to the Veil Labyrinth. They're thinking, why the heck would that for? Warp Gate. So they go there. Well, basically, first they give Sherry some armor. They talk about her size and her shoes, and mention about getting the mall, basically the club that basically she has. They get that for her. They get her the special pull-on boots, and Roxanne herself got brand new shoes, and the sandals she was wearing, which originally were Michio's, got transferred over to Sherry. Sherry's trying to wear them because she's the newest person there. So go Labyrinth, kill some sheep monsters. She's really impressed by Roxanne. And then they go back to the house where they start cooking dwarf cooking. And of course, they go back to Labyrinth. This actually is just where they start cooking this before then. So when they get back, they have their meal. Now, they kind of basically move some conversations around here where they talk about the dirigible, where it's a MP absorption. They move that later than the conversation we initially had it, which, okay. So, excuse me. So, we also have where Roxanne's acting a bit jealous over the fact that Michio wanted to serve Sherry first, but because she's slave number one, she gets to serve first. So he serves himself. He goes Sherry, nope, he gives it to Roxanne. They eat for a while, and then comes the scene that I think a lot of people were looking forward to seeing. The bath scene, which just takes like a good chunk of chapter 3. My gosh, like this also is like from chapter 2 as well. Yeah, this section is long. And they pretty much got to like part 7 of chapter 3 with this, where I actually also watched the uncensored version of the scene where both of them are completely naked and they proceed to wash Michio. Of course, he's basically Joseph. Actually, they have 2 girls. He washes them, they wash him, and they hop in the bath thing. And then, of course, they try out the new nightgowns. And, of course, Michio kisses Sherry because she really wanted to. And then Roxanne has turn first to having sex with him. And then it's Sherry's turn to have sex with him. Which, in the uncensored version, this didn't last very long. In the actual uncensored version, this lasts for 5 minutes of this stuff. Yes, seriously, 5 minutes. And then it turns to a 3-way. And then after they're finished, basically you have Michio like be very happy that get a chance to do a 3-way for the first time. And he ends up sleeping in Roxanne's chest. Because apparently she wants to do that. Oh, and during the bath, she takes off her basically her hair bands, and then of course puts her hair different formation later, and then when she wakes up next morning, she's got a very crazy bedhead. Now they use some of the words basically what basically he's saying, what exactly he wants. So like nice day, and then of course he decided because it's viewed in this episode that humans are sex maniacs. I'm not kidding about that. That's literally what they said. In the book, yeah, that's kind of basically, that part was true. So, I should point out though, just before he says the line which leads to stuff from other books, that's technically where part 7 ends. That's like about halfway through chapter 3. That's as far as I got to when it comes to adapting for some episode. And then for some strange reason, he's like, slaves. He gotta buy more slaves. And then we have a montage of stuff that happens in other books for some strange reason. where he first buys Misa, who is a cat girl, and then it's after her. There's actually about three others. There's Besta, who, by the way, there's a recurring thing. All three of them, like, excuse me, I'm Sherry saying, "I hope they drop dead," and this is due to the fact that all three women basically join them have got bigger chests than she does. Yeah. So Misa, they go to like a auction house to buy her, and then they go to another auction itself where they buy Vista, and they actually show them look like they show the bath and they have sex, and then of course comes the elf of the group, Renita, where this is kind of a highlight from a later book where apparently he gets her from looks like her brother, whatever. I'm not sure who basically hands her off to him, and she's like, "Oh, I decided to join you," and then of course, then they proceed to do it, and then he proceeds to have the episode end with doing basically having sex with all the women. Yes, that's how the final episode ends. Now, there could have been a variety of reasons why they decided to do this for, where they're doing pretty good here. They could have continued on, but I do now. This episode's fine. I think it's actually pretty good. The censoring stuff is a bit unnecessary, but I did watch the unnecessary things, so I have a pretty good understanding of what exactly happened here. Oh, and by the way, they do cover up all the sexual noises. I should point out, though, the sexual noises that's made in the uncensored version, and the censored version is covered up by music. Yes, and lots of error stuff. That's Cruncher for you. Yep. Let's see, what else? But yeah, there's not much to say about this episode. I kind of liked it. I did. I think it was fine. The only problem I have with it is basically rushing just doing highlights of a few books. Like just introduce his character and then bath, sex, repeat 3 times. Not sure why in the world they did this for, but he says he wants more slaves, which is apparently a way to get the other girls in, because last time these other 3 girls were seen was back in episode 2. That's when Sherry first showed up, and she did make her first proper appearance until episode number 11. Now, could there be potential for another season? Yes. There's potential for it, definitely. Even though technically in just 12 episodes, they adapted pretty much the first 3 books. And they adapted about almost half of book 4 before they decided to end the season with episode 12. I'm not sure exactly why they ended 4, though I do have a theory on it. I don't know what the reason, but I do have a theory of why. The reason why I think they ended that particular episode is, my guess is, I think Passionate was not happy with the ratings. It probably was new ratings, or that's why they said to end. And they had the montage as sort of potential. Maybe they could have a season 2 to explore all this. They get a little more detail into this. That's a personal guess, anyways. I don't think it's a terrible anime. Not necessarily. I'll just get my final thoughts here. It's definitely a good anime. They keep a lot of stuff from the book, which this is one thing I always appreciate when it comes to light novel adaptation of animes, where they keep a lot in. Yes, of course, Passionate would emphasize more of the sex scenes than they would basically the actual story itself. But they keep a lot of that in, and they do keep characters that were supposed to be there. I mean, was any characters cut that was in particular book scenes? No, not necessarily. Nobody was cut, which that's a bit of a shocker. Usually somebody is cut for some unexplained reason. Do I think they rush these books? No, I don't think so. But this does wrap up basically Harem or Labyrinth in their world. As for whenever they say release our season, I don't know. There is not a confirmation for season 2. I would love to see season 2. I also love to finish reading the damn books. I've only read personally the first 4 books. That's as far as I got with them. And they're slowly releasing chapters for book 5. They're already on the final chapter already, and they're releasing it in parts. How many parts basically is one supposed to be? I don't know yet. I have no idea. Yep. But yes, that's going to be pretty much it for Stickler Review. Stay tuned for later on my reviews for The Great Ja Will Not Be Defeated, Slime Diaries, Case Closed, and the final episode watch right now for Bond for Ya. Okay? Next video. Bye.